7 o'clock this morning that we had a possible small explosion and fire south of the protein plant. When we got there, we encountered the tree mechanism of the propane tank, which is basically the piping underneath the belly of the propane tank that moves the product from the propane tank into protein itself, into the business itself, and the pump apparatus and all the piping there. We're unsure what had happened there, but there was a failure of that piping. So it wasn't the tank that was on fire, it was the piping that was on fire. However, it's a 3-inch pipe. The pipe was impinging, the flame was impinging directly on the tank. And what happens then is the product inside the tank continues to heat. And if that goes unchecked, it'll continue to heat until there's a failure or a venting of the product. And we were able to put a master stream, which is a large water supply, on the tank this morning immediately. And then we went ahead and ordered the evacuation and evacuated the public safety as well as the citizens. So that's what occurred. We're in the vessel quicker. So the cold weather did help us. And the fact that they just filled this tank yesterday helped us also. It helped us, and it had potential to harm us. But it helped us in the aspect that when the impingement of the tank, the flame on the tank was impinging on the liquid side of the tank. The liquid will absorb a lot of the heat. So that's our ally. We want that absorption to happen so we don't have that levee situation occur in the tank. Now we sent a whole team in, which was 3.
Was the fire?
Yeah, they were absolutely in full protective gear, and they had that master stream protection. So that was our reconnaissance team.
How did you determine who would go in there, and how brave are those guys?
They're all extremely brave. I'm very proud of them. They've done a fantastic job. That was the toughest call I've ever made as a chief, but we wound up sending 16 of our firefighters in to take the offensive action, and that's almost 2/3 of our paid staff. So that was a great thing for them to do. But we didn't make that decision lightly or aggressive. Well, it was aggressive, but we didn't take it without really calculating the risk. Our game is all about that. That's our business. We calculate the risk and we make a decision. A decision was made and it was successful. I'm proud to say.
Is there any further threats of public safety as far as carbon monoxide, poisoning, anything like that might be in the air?
No. When there's a rupture of a vessel like propane, this might sound a little strange, but our best friend is actually if it starts on fire, except when it impinges the tank. If the propane starts on fire, we know where the product is. If the propane isn't on fire, then it's making its way across the community and it's hard to regulate. And then when it finds an ignition source, it'll flash back, and that flashback can be as large as that propane has traveled. So we were fortunate in many ways that the propane started on fire. So we don't want to put out the fire initially. We just want to cool the tank, and that's what we do. So we don't believe there's any further cause for alarm or concern in your homes. This is an isolated system, a closed system. So it's not like this propane is feeding your home or any of the gas system in the city at all. There's no worries there. No worries about carbon monoxide. We are monitoring the air down there currently, and we aren't getting any hits on our gas monitors. So we believe the situation's at hand. We do have some emergency folks down there yet taking care of that.
Can you speak more about the evacuees? How many people were evacuated and how long?
I don't know if we have direct numbers, Chief, but a large section. When we get on scene, we have what is called an emergency response guide. It's a national guide that fire departments and police departments use across the nation, and it's a little cheat sheet for us. And when we flipped it open to a large propane incident, it said a mile. We're going to have to evacuate for a mile. Looking at it, obviously it's on Omaha Avenue near 10th Street. A mile's a long ways. It's in the heart of the city. So we made that decision to start to effectuate that evacuation. But that doesn't happen just like that. It takes a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of personnel making contact with the citizens, and then our citizens doing the right thing and evacuating. And that's what they did. So that's what we did. A mile was what we were told to do by the book, and we followed the book, and it worked out good.
If it would have exploded, would it have shattered windows up to a mile out? I had heard a report that was the case.
I don't know for sure. I know levees are serious events. There's an episode in Kingman, Arizona that showed a large levee of a similar propane tank, and there was a lot of destruction. So yes, it could have shattered windows. Yes, it could have leveled home. It could have done a lot of things. What it would have done, I can't tell you. All I know is it's extremely dangerous, and we needed to evacuate.
But when it became apparent that we needed to initiate an evacuation process, we called in an extra shift of officers. We took our people normally who don't patrol, our investigators, those types of folks, and put them out. We set up grids starting out from those areas closest to the scene, and then we worked our way out. And we just assigned officers to go door to door down each street, make contact. Most of the people were very cooperative, were willing to leave. The schools, I think, did just a tremendous job trying to get students and staff out. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think there were 4, maybe 5 schools plus the central offices of the school district that actually had to evacuate. And they made their buses available to move not only their students but also citizens that needed to be evacuated. Aero Sage Lines had some buses that they made available to try to facilitate some of that movement. I thought it went very orderly. I think that the citizens as a whole, we didn't see anybody panic or anything. I think they moved out well. The one issue that we had, and we really didn't have an answer for that, was people who were already out of the area working, and then they had pets and things that they wanted to get moved out of the house. And we just told them that we would have to just see how the day went, and we'd have to deal with that situation. It became an extended thing, and fortunately,